All right, y'all. What's up with y'all? Welcome back to another podcast. We gonna be talking about the NFL today because as I'm talking right now is late as shit, and the NFL is gonna be returning soon within the next 8 hours. Yeah, that's how late this is as I'm recording this, and it's do game predictions, and I'm gonna do a game recap of Buffalo and Rams small game recap. I'm not gonna go into a whole bunch of details and all of that, but I'm gonna touch on it, highlights and lowlights concerns, possible news on different teams if they have any, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, first one, Buffalo Rams recap. Buffalo won 31 to 10. If you guys watched the game, which I hope you did, you'll get to see everything that didn't happen and did happen. Buffalo was good the whole game. Well, I'm not going to say good. I'll say decent. They scored 31 points, but they did have four turnovers. And that, if you understand how football normally goes and the balance of scoring points and turning the ball over, you would understand that that's kind of ridiculous. It was seemed kind of off how they got that many points with so many turnovers. Four turnovers is a lot in a football game, if you didn't know. But 31 points is also a lot. But that just goes to the fact of how the Rams were concerned, not really concerning because it was only the first game, but they showed signs that if that started a trend, those signs started a trend, you would be like, they won a championship last year? How? Josh Allen had three touchdowns, two interceptions. One of them wasn't entirely his fault, but it still goes on the stat sheet whether we like it or not. And then two of the running backs, I'm not sure. I know Zach Moss had one. I'm not sure the other guy that had one. But they had turnovers between them, lost fumbles, and the Rams on the Rams side, there was Matt Stafford who had one touchdown pass, three picks. He looked pretty bad, pretty rusty. I know it was just week one, but he looked pretty rusty. And that'll come off. I don't expect him to play bad all year, but if he does show flashes of like he did on Thursday night, they're gonna be in for a long year, and they ain't doing half of what they did last year. But we'll see. But another thing I wanted to touch on too with Buffalo, Von Miller is that dude. He is back healthy, and everybody should be concerned because Buffalo is. If you ever looked at the Vegas odds before the year started, they are favored to win the championship this year. I don't know yet because football is kind of a toss up sometimes. You can have a team be picked and then injuries happen and then everything changes. But with Buffalo, I can see why people said that because despite them having the four turnovers, they were still able to throw 31 points on the board, which shows how explosive they can be. Stephon Diggs is one of the best in the game. Josh Allen is a very good quarterback. Their run game, it didn't look the best against the Rams, but I can see it being adequate, but also you don't in today's game you don't need a tremendous run game to be able to win. It's an asset for sure, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have a tremendous run game. You can do it because I mean, look at the Chiefs the year they won the Super Bowl a few years ago. They didn't really have a run game. They haven't had a run game in a while. It's as long as Patrick Mahomes has been there, as far as I can remember. They really haven't had a consistent, dominant run game ever since Mahomes has been there. They've won basically off of scheme passing. So it can be done. And I mean, the 49ers had a good run game. They've had a good run game for several years now, and it hasn't really got them anything. It got them to a Super Bowl, but I mean, they lost to the Chiefs, which I was just talking about, one without a run game. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback, and I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Garoppolo at all. I think he's average at best. But Some people might beg to differ with that. San Francisco 49er fans. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Some might agree, some might disagree, but I don't care. Leave your comments down below and I will respond to them whether I want to or not. And okay, so oh, first game I want to talk about actually. I'm just going to go down my bleacher report list. 49ers and Bears. The Bears are terrible. I currently reside in Illinois, not Chicago, but the Bears are terrible. Everybody knows this worldwide. It don't matter from in Illinois or California or whatever. The Bears are terrible. Everybody know that. They've been terrible for a while, and I don't expect them to be much better. So, 49ers, I got them winning that game. Yeah, I got them winning that game. I don't have much to say about that game at all. Next game, Browns and Panthers. Okay, so as we all know, Baker Mayfield is no longer a Cleveland Brown. He is a Carolina Panther. This is going to be his first game against his old team and his first game with a new team. That's kind of a coincidence, but it played out perfect. The football gods made that one happen. But what I think about that, I think the Panthers. No, who do I want to pick for this game? Okay, before I make my pick, and I'll be thinking about it as I'm talking, but Cleveland Browns, they did sign Deshaun Watson for all of that money, but he won't be able to play for 11 games. So their first 11 games is going to be kind of, you know, shaky, I would assume, unless they can have a dominant run game, which is possible because they still do have Kareem Hunt, and he's a very adequate running back. No disrespect to him, all respect to him. Okay, so today, as I'm speaking, because like I said, it's late, Jacoby Brissett will be starting for the Cleveland Browns, and personally, I think that this game might be a toss-up because I feel like Baker, Panthers quarterback, is going to be kind of like emotionally unstable. He said he'll handle it, but I don't think that a person like him, the way he comes off to people, that he'd be able to control himself per se and be able to handle the burden and handle his attitude on what he feels towards Cleveland for doing them the way they did. Even though he kind of did some of that to himself because of how he performed over the years. But it's like I don't know, their animosity towards each other might be involved in the game, and that's going to cause him to be, like I said, emotionally unstable, and that might affect his play. So I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Cleveland to win. I'm gonna pick Cleveland to win. I think Jacoby Brissett will be able to game manage enough to be able to beat the Panthers, and Baker's attitude might kill his play enough to where the Browns can sneak out of there with a win. Oh, and I'm a big fan of Skip and Shannon. I watch them, and they betted 10 cases on this game, and I really hope that the Browns win so Shannon can come in on Monday and rub it all in Skip's face because Skip sees a lot in Baker that I don't see. I don't agree with a lot of it. He says, y'all have to watch the show to know what I'm talking about. And if it came prevalent enough, I would do another podcast on it and I'd make that his own segment. But yeah, so that game, I'm going to pick the Browns. I would definitely pick the Browns more confidently if Deshaun Watson was playing. But either way, I would pick the Browns. Okay, next game. Who we got next? Next game. Patriots and Dolphins. The Dolphins made a tremendous acquisition over the offseason. They have signed Tyreek Hill, one of the best receivers in the game. Top 5, top 10, wherever you want to put him at. I'd say probably top 5. Off the top of my head, most likely top 5, top 7, top 10, in between that range. But I just don't know about Tua. And I love Alabama. I've been an Alabama fan for a while now. You call me bandwagon, call me whatever the hell you want to, but I like Alabama. Roll Tide. And Tua is just he gets injured way too much. So with that, even when he's on the field, at right now he's kind of he is an average quarterback, maybe even slightly below average. But we'll see what happens with them. I think they'll be better, but I don't see them having a ridiculous year. This will be the AFC East first game. Well, between the Patriots and the Dolphins, this will be their game, and they both reside in the AFC East, which is going to be really intriguing. I'll say the Patriots win that division. Dolphins will probably be second, but I definitely got the Patriots winning the division, and I definitely have them winning today. Okay, next game, Ravens and Jets. Honestly, who cares about the Jets? Some people, there's got to be some fans out there. It's just not that many of them. Just haven't been good in a long time. I don't know. I don't know when the last time they were good. They ain't been good in my lifetime. I'm 20 years old, and they haven't been good as long as I remember. And yeah, but anyway, I ain't gonna keep shitting on the Jets. Everybody knows the Jets are bad. Leave them alone. They'll turn around one day, but I don't see tomorrow being that day. I got the Ravens winning, and the Ravens had some controversy. Lamar Jackson did not reach a deal. Um, we didn't ever find out what the offer deal was. I'd seen some reports that there was an offer deal, but we never got to see what the deal was. So I'm like, why would they say that asking him is he gonna take what's on the table and not tell us? Like we matter too, the fans per se. Like we want to know, was it 40 million? Was it 50 million? Maybe he wanted 60 million. Something ridiculous. Contracts is crazy these days. I don't even want to get into all of that because I'm go depressed because I wish I had money like that. But yeah, they might lose him, but we'll let that play itself out. I hope he doesn't hold out. He might though. Well, no, Lamar Jackson don't seem like that type of person to be able to allow himself not to play football and sit out a whole year. But it's possible. I doubt he does. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But speaking of today, the Ravens are gonna win. Next game, Saints and Falcons. Shout out to my grandpa. He's a semi Saints fan. He mainly supports Jameis Winston because he's been watching him ever since college, and he likes to, support. He's loyal with that and all of that. So I'm gonna pick the Saints. I would pick the Saints regardless if I had a personal connection to it or not, because I think the Saints are just better than the Falcons. And I'm kind of surprised the Saints get a lot of hype. They've gotten a lot of hype this offseason. Some people even got them winning a division, and I was like, Brady still exists. Tom Brady still exists. So I don't know about that. But we'll see. Michael Thomas should play tomorrow. I seen a report that he is suiting up. He's probably most likely not going to play because he's been kind of off and on, mostly off for the last 2 years off the field. So we'll see what happens with that. But I got the Saints by a landslide. Steelers and Bengals. Sorry to my friend Aaron. The Steelers aren't going to be good. He probably noticed. I would hope you do, so I don't have to explain this to you. But yeah, they're not going to be good, bro. And I got the Bengals blowout. Chiefs and Cardinals. Okay, for this game, I feel like it's going to be a little closer than the betting favorites have it. The Chiefs are favored by 6.5 as I'm looking at it on Bleacher Report right now. I feel like it could be like that, but I don't know. Kyler got that big deal, but that like study clause thing that came out about him, I really didn't appreciate that. I'm like, it kind of threw me off as being a big football fan, and It makes football players seem ungrateful if that's all y'all have to do is study. And of course, take care of yourself. But if studying is just like a side thing, you get paid $50 million. You can watch some film for a few hours. But I don't know if that was true or not. So I'm not gonna keep dwelling on that. But I didn't like the idea and the concept of you know what resided behind that. But I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. Regardless of if they have Tyreek Hill or not, I still think they're gonna be explosive. They're gonna be hard to beat because they still do have a top five, arguably the best quarterback in the game, and Patrick Mahomes. So I mean, we'll see. Upsets can always happen. Any team can be beaten on any given week, any given day, regardless of sport. But I got the Chiefs winning that game. Giants and Titans. Titans. I don't have much to say about them. Packers and Vikings. Where did all these Vikings things come from? Kirk Cousins is decent, but like I don't know, man. Now, okay, Packers and Vikings is kind of weird right now because Aaron Rodgers did lose Devontae Adams, and that was his safety blanket. But it's hard to bet against him because I'm like, he still is a top five quarterback. It's hard to bet against him because of that. But I don't think the Packers as a team will be as good as they normally have been over the last few years because he doesn't have that safety blanket anymore. And I think a lot of things gonna be different with him because he just Aaron Rodgers he focuses on the game. I'm not saying that he doesn't give 100%, but his extracurriculars is kind of like he should keep them on the down low. Now, what I'm talking about is when he admitted, I'd say maybe from today, maybe a week or two ago, he admitted to using drugs, not PEDs, drugs like psychedelic drugs on vacation or even being on drugs during games. And I was like, why would you say that? That's something that if you want to say it after you retire or take that to your grave. So, but I know Aaron Rodgers is great. They're gonna figure it out. They'll be a decent team, but I can understand why people are hyping up the Vikings because of all the doubt with the Packers, but I don't have the Vikings being as good as some people might have them. For example, Shannon Sharp, like I said, I'm a big fan of them. Shout out to them. But the Vikings, he has the Vikings going all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't see it. They might win the division though. I could say probably right now without seeing them yet, because I will be watching the games. Vikings, they will probably win the division because they're a better overall team than the Packers, regardless of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the Packers' best player. He has been for a long time, but I think that loss of Devontae Adams is going to really hurt, and it's going to be different for sure. But the Vikings should be the better team, regardless. Knowing that having Vikings should be the better team because they have a more overall better team than the Packers. But I mean, like with everything, we'll see. Next game, this will be the night game, Bucks and Cowboys. I'm so tired of hearing about the Cowboys every year. We talk about them. A lot of people talk about them like they're going to be one of the best things ever, and they turn out to be first round exits. Bucks, Bucks are winning that game. Oh, and if I didn't say Vikings are winning the Packers game. Broncos and Seahawks, the game closest to my heart because I've been a Seahawks fan for 10 years. And my favorite quarterback of all time has now moved teams. And I found it hard to be a Seahawks fan because everything has just fallen apart. We don't have the Legion of Boom anymore. Pete Carroll's stubborn. Bobby Wagner's a Ram. Um, and then a lot of players, like players that I love, either left early, prematurely, or because of injury or because of other things. And yeah, it hurts. But I just can't support my favorite players on the Seahawks as like Tyler Lockett. I wish Tyler Lockett could have went to Denver with Russell Wilson, but unfortunately it couldn't work out that way. DK Metcalf, I love him, but other than that, the Seahawks just don't strike my heart like they used to. I always have a special place for them because I've been to several Seahawks games over the years. I met Marshawn Lynch. You guys see this on my TikTok if you haven't followed me on there. Link is in the description. Well, not link, but my username is in the description. And yeah, they've held special part of my heart over the last 10 years. But I think it was time to cut my ties and kind of do like I do with the NBA and just support players. But yeah, off the Seahawks going to the Broncos, I expect the Broncos to be really good this year. At least better than they were last year. They were like 7-9 last year or something like that. And I expect them to be a lot better than they were. Of course, because they have Russell Wilson. I don't know about the whole Super Bowl thing yet because they're in a tough division. It's Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. That division is crazy. Every team in there should be more than competitive, just say the least. So, I mean, we'll see though. But for the Monday night game, which be the Broncos and Seahawks, I got the Broncos winning because I think they're the overall better team, and I just don't have a lot of faith in Geno Smith. They might rally together and try to upset Russell Wilson's return, but as of right now, I'm going to pick the Broncos because I think they'll just be a little not overwhelming. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but I think they'll be better tomorrow night. So I got the Broncos. Colts and Texans. The Texans suck. Um, the Texans suck. The Colts. I got the Colts. The Colts got Matt Ryan. They should be very good this year. Not very good. I'm not gonna say it like that. They should be decent. I'll say that. But yeah, I got the Colts. I really don't have much to say about them. Eagles and Lions. How the hell did that game sell out? The tickets had to be like 50 cents. Cause who in the hell would pay hundreds of dollars to go see the Lions play, knowing how bad they've been over the years? Yeah, exactly. Crickets. Me either. I don't know. But yeah, Eagles and Lions. They play. I don't. Fuck did that game sell out? Who want to go see that shit? What are y'all going to Detroit for to see a football game? I'm pretty sure there's a lot to do in Detroit, not see the damn Lions. Especially against the Eagles. The Eagles ain't really good. The Eagles winning. I'm not gonna keep bashing them. All right, next game: Jaguars and Commanders. Commanders signed Carson Wentz, and I mean it's kind of like a who cares thing, because I mean like Carson Wentz is okay, but he's very mistake prone and injury prone. So really can't expect them to do much. But as of this week one predictions, Commanders will win. Raiders and Chargers. I'm very excited for this game because I am excited to see how Devontae Adams is going to fit in with Derek Carr. They should be really good, really good. And I may even try to go out to Vegas and catch a Raiders game. Maybe, hopefully. I hope so. But on that side, I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to be. I'm going to be following that division crazy because Russell Wilson's in that division. That's my favorite quarterback ever, by the way. And yeah, I'm going to be following that close. But Chargers, they ain't going to be no slouch either. They have a really good offense. They signed Khalil Mack. He's been kind of up and down, but I think he'll be able to prosper like he was years ago with Joey Bosa. That'll open up a lot. So I expect these two teams to be AFC powerhouses. They're going to be really good teams, and they're going to have very close games. And if they do lose, they're going to be hard fought losses. But yeah, that's everything for week one. Yeah, I'll be doing these weekly. So you guys tap in. I'm gonna be uploading these. Hopefully, I'm gonna say not. I'm not gonna say Saturday mornings because I like to fit in my gaming things, and I'm gonna try to start uploading every day. But if not, then definitely Sunday mornings. You guys could tap into this before you start watching the games. Kind of engage with me a little bit, or maybe even while you watching the game. However you do it, as long as you watch this, I appreciate the support. And yeah, I'll be watching. I'm so glad the NFL is back because I didn't have shit to watch over the last few months. I was watching basketball, and then after that ended, I was just like spamming movies. I was watching anime, but I kind of fell out of it. And yeah, so past few months or whatever since basketball's been off, I basically just been watching old movies and YouTube. So I'm really glad that the NFL is back, and I'm super excited for noon to start. I usually watch my Sunday games with my grandpa, one of my favorite hobbies, and we'll be sitting there yelling, watching the games, peeking on all of them. So if I find the time for it, I might even do recaps. We'll see, but yep, all my social medias are down in the description, and I'll be posting different things. If I don't do like a podcast, um, bruh, can't talk. If I don't do like a podcast recap, I might start doing like Instagram recaps or eventually maybe developing a website or something. But I found out something because I really like this. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm so glad the NFL is back, and I'll catch y'all next week.